Hi, this is Stephen Roselle, Technical Specialist at Autodesk, and I'm going to show you a quick overview of a new scanning feature in Maya 2013. So what you see here is Sven, our internally developed spaceman character that you're going to see in a number of other demos, including some of our middleware demos, gameware demos, but for now we're going to use him as kind of our skinning example. And I'm going to start just by showing you kind of standard skinning. So what you can see here is I've already skinned the head to the upper joints, the neck joints and head joint and so on. I've also got some face joints that I'm hiding right now, but we're going to focus on the body. So I'm going to grab the body and I'm going to grab the root of this character, actually starting with the hips. And I'll just go into my standard skinning tools and we'll just use the default behavior, which is going to be a bind method using closest distance, which is basically going to just find the closest vertices relative to any given joint and then make weighting assignments based on those, and then a few other parameters like our drop-off rate and so on. But again, we'll just use the default settings here and we'll just illustrate kind of the inherent problems with these default settings. So the first thing you'll see is that we always end up having problems in areas where we have body parts that are close together. Now, oftentimes people will skin characters with the legs kind of at angles away from one another to alleviate this problem. But if you can avoid this problem using a different method, then that kind of eliminates the need to do that. So that's obviously a pretty severe problem, but even smaller problems in areas like the shoulder are very apparent. So you can see here when I fold this arm in, it's really caving in kind of the armpit or underarm area. If I pull it out, you can actually see it here as well. It's really protruding that area around the underarm. And it's also not doing very nice skinning here at the shoulder. And then likewise, we can even take a look at the arm. And what you'll see with the arm is I get this weird kind of rubbery, I call it a rubber band effect, where it's kind of just distorting and stretching that arm. It's not creasing in a natural way. So all this can be, of course, fixed through standard weighting methods, either using something like weight painting or even down to the component level. But if you can avoid this right off the bat, then that obviously saves a lot of time. So I'm going to switch over to a different version of the character. Now this is the same character, it just hasn't been skinned yet. And this time we're going to grab the hips and we're going to grab the body, and I'm just going to change one simple setting. I'm going to go in and actually change the bind method to be the new method called heat map. And then I'm going to change the fall off to a value of about 0.5. I usually start at 0.5. Obviously you can tweak this, but I'm going to start kind of in the middle. And now we'll simply apply that. And you can see with this new algorithm how almost immediately we have significantly better results. So the first most obvious example is here with the legs, where now when I pull the legs out, it's no longer affecting those vertices on the surface opposite to the side of the joint. So the heat mapping resolves that. It also actually does a pretty good job of resolving these issues of areas under the arm. So it's actually still affecting that torso area, but it's not affecting it in as a dramatic way. So then you can also take a look at areas here where I actually have the elbow, and now you can see that it does a nice job of giving me kind of a natural crease on the inner elbow. And again, if you wanted to actually just compare these side by side, I can switch over to my other character and just give you a quick side-by-side example. Again, those are the legs, and then if you want to see the comparison here with the arm, you can actually see it's quite a bit better in the back with the arm. And then likewise, if I go in and grab the elbow here, just to show you again kind of a side-by-side comparison, that's the elbow with the default skinning, and that is the elbow with the heat map skinning. So again, this is just an initial process. So you would still go in and you would do corrective skinning using your standard skinning tools, but this will allow you to get a lot farther kind of down the path of skinning with just the initial process. So that wraps up the demonstration. Thanks for your time.